Hi there, I'm Josh Karp.
And I'm Ryan Moran, and we're here with the Hernandez Brothers.
Hi guys.
Hello. Thanks for being here.
I'm Xaime, by the way.
And I'm Gilbert.
Welcome.
So I'm going to start off, just get right into it. Easiest question, or I hope it's the easiest question. What superheroes or any inspired you when you were younger to create comics?
Gee, all the ones that are older than us, I guess. You know, I'm a little younger than Gilbert, and when I was growing up, Marvel was new. You know, I mean, you remember Marvel being really new, and so you had Marvel, DC, and I'm going blank, but yeah, just.
I going as far back as I can, I think I gravitated toward tin can type superheroes like Astro Boy and the original Iron Man. I just like the stiffness and coolness of what they did. I guess I like just old-fashioned type robots. Even though I didn't really draw that kind of thing, that's what I was always drawn to. And I couldn't. When Iron Man changed his costume, I said, "It's over. Marvel's over." What was his name? 64 or something. But gosh, I never met a superhero I didn't like when I was 5 years old. You know, they were just like, wow, what are they doing? Yeah. Because to us, we weren't jaded or versed in this stuff. It was just magic every time. You know, like, wow, who's this guy? And even if they were really stupid, like Brain Boy or something, you go, oh, he uses his brain, but he doesn't really use it in his costume. And, you're just kind of intrigued by just what they were doing, not necessarily understanding it, but just being drawn toward it.
If you can remember, what was the first comic that you bought, if you can remember that?
Ooh, well, he can answer that better because I already grew up into them. They already had them.
You were hand-me-downs.
Yeah.
Most of them were hand-me-downs, but I think my mom let me, because I think I started crying because my older brother Mario was buying comic books and I didn't have one. And I think it was like, I was 4, yes. And I was crying, I want a comic book. So she bought me I don't remember the number. May God strike me down. It's Tales of Suspense, where Iron Man fights Jack Frost. And I was I just love that cover so much. I go, this is the one I want. This is the one I want. So years later, you see Mario's crossed out my name on it and put his name. And then I crossed out his. So you'll see he's got the copy at his house. You'll see that our names are going across the top.
Who has it now?
Mario does, because he's got the collection.
Okay.
The old collection from the old days. What's left of them? I mean, because we were voracious comic readers, and we made a mess of them. We just
tear them up.
How they're supposed to be used.
Yeah, but we read them. It wasn't like we were just mischievous or anything like that. It was just like we just read them too much.
The full digestion.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Are there any superheroes out there today? I mean, you guys have such a unique style. If you could put that on any character that's out there, is there any dream characters that you would like to work with, or anything of that sort?
For me, that would have been when I was starting out in my 20s, But now I've been with my comics so long. If I want to draw a superhero, I make one up.
Yeah.
So, and I did.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's whoever's doing something out there. I don't need to use theirs. I just make my own. Yeah.
I did a short run on Birds of Prey using Black Canary and Batgirl in the wheelchair, and they didn't let me use Huntress even though she was a star of the TV show at the time. I don't know why. Okay, but I just threw in Metamorpho because the editors were driving me so crazy. So I wanted something opposite of what was going on in Birds of Prey. This was like a cool spy crime comic. I'm going to throw in a magic guy. I'm going to throw in Felix Foster, who knows magic. Of course, so I got sacked from the book. But I did notice it was a lot harder than I thought it would be. Because I was still going after seeing it from the point of view of a 7-year-old kid. That's not comics anymore.
Yeah.
So I kind of got lost. So I did my best with it, and I just got a lot of head shaking, and I thought, well, it was kind of fun and stuff, but let's get back to the real thing. So it was a lot harder than I thought. So I got to hand it to those guys. It's a lot harder to make those characters live and continue selling.
Yeah. So much of what you guys do in your own work has so many real moments. You really capture characters and dialogue. And how much of that is drawn from your lives? Are those real people that you have around you, or is it just part of what you're drawing from everything else?
Talking about the women I wish. But you go ahead. I mean,
it's a combination of a lot of things. I've created characters just by hairstyle of someone I saw, like at a punk show in LA or something, or somebody I used to know who was really funny person, quirky, funny person, but I changed them into a woman or something. By the time it ends up on the paper, it's not them anymore. But so it's a mixture of all that. I usually just now will create a character and then try to imagine how they live, what they're like, if they live in the next town from me, kind of thing, So I'll just have some kind of connection when I'm writing them.
Their routine, like what they do, just
get into
their head.
Or like this guy used to be pretty good artist, but he just blew it with drugs or something, And I think, okay, what kind of person would he be? Well, how would he react to this situation that I'm writing? Stuff like that.
Cool.
So when you guys started doing Love and Rockets back in the day, did you ever think you would be where you are today with it? Or did you think it would be 2 issues and cancel?
You know what? We never even gave it a second thought. We were just like, this is what I'm going to do, and please let us continue.
Yeah, it was more like we hoped we would be here, but I wasn't taking anything.
We just never looked behind us. We just kept going just because it's like, well, this is getting attention. We're not really making a living at it, but we're still moving forward. So we never really looked back or worried about it. We didn't have any pause to think about how to do it right or anything. Because every time we tried to shift to do something different, to maybe hopefully we'll get a bigger audience, it just never worked. It just didn't feel right, and we just didn't get what we were trying to do. We couldn't meet our own standards that way. But it was only like little brief instances, like Mr. X and comics like that in the early days. But once we went back to Love and Rockets, we can just pour ourselves into it and push that way. So we just stuck with it, and Fantagraphics were encouraging in that way. They just said, "No, keep doing your stuff, keep more." So, but we never looked back because we didn't want to see the empty road behind us.
Excellent.
So you're obviously here tonight for the release of Daniel Clowes' new book. Yeah. What's your connection with Daniel? Like, how do you guys know him? Or
we kind of met because, well, like he said earlier in his talk, that he appeared in our comic. I mean, we're kind of helping out this new artist, and then we kind of met him at a convention. I think it was San Diego convention, and we kind of knew we related to him with the subject matter of his and the style of his comics, and so I mean the guy knew Mexican monster movies, like us. Yeah. I mean, why not be his friend, stuff like that. So it was just like-minded stuff. I mean, we didn't know that many early on. We didn't know that many of the alternative cartoons because there wasn't that many out, and he was one of the first ones that we met and befriended.
Yeah, it's really a matter of timing, because it was really interesting because we had put out Love and Rockets, and then Peter Bagg put out Neat Stuff, and we felt a kinship, even if it wasn't the same at all. We felt a kinship, and then when they put Dan Clowes work in it, we thought, well, this is like a kinship. This is the same. Same with seeing Charles Burns' work. And then, like Xaime said, it just turned out that we grew up in the same relative generations of reading same comics, same monster magazines, same monster movies, and we could just, trade stories, And we had, but there was a spark in there coming from, mostly, I guess, from Robert Crumb, that our comics should be more about grounded things, or just at least using our styles and our stories to make a name for ourselves in a way, But I'm always perplexed at how amazing it was that, we just happened to put this new kid Dan Clowes' stuff in our comic, and then he became Dan Clowes. It was just wow. So I take full credit for Dan's career.
Excellent.
When you first ran the comics in the store in Love and Rockets, did you think they were funny, or were you just kind of pass it off? And how was that? How did that work out? Did you enjoy them?
I guess I looked at it as yeah, I enjoyed it because, like I said, it was like-minded. I mean, it was coming from the same thing we were made up of, you know, and as far as like, did I think it was going to make it or not? It didn't matter. It was just, it was there, and I guess it was like thinking about our own comic. He's just going to keep doing it. Mm-hmm. You know, you didn't think that they were going to just come and go away. Yeah. You know,
there was just some, this sense, this feeling that this was keep moving, keep going, and luckily it did.
Yeah. Very likely.
Yeah. Because there are generations of cartoons that are there for a while and then they're gone.
Yeah, they just drop off
because there's no support for them. You know, there's not enough people giving them support. Because even us, I mean, we'd be at home and we'd get an issue of a comics journal or something, and they'd say a few nice words about us, and then we'd hear this and that, and Love Rockets is doing great. And then we'd go out in the world, nobody even heard of us, you know. But we kept that in our head that we are doing something, we are being noticed, even though it was maybe like 800 people. But you know, we had this delusion that we were bigger than we were. But and that delusion helped us to keep progressing and keep doing it.
The momentum.
Yeah, really.
I know that your comics are loved by musicians. A lot of musicians really love everything that you guys do. Are there any musicians that have you guys are in contact with that?
Not lately, actually. I mean, years ago, you did a cover for Michelle Shocked.
What was the last cover? The last cover I did was Los Lobos.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
You know.
I think I remember that one.
And when I met the guys, it was more like old men talking about, remember when we were all young? That kind of thing, You know, but...
and we met people through our comic. You know, they weren't necessarily read our comic too much, but they
But it put you in the same circle.
Yeah, and then we'd meet them, and it was nice, you know, because they were musicians we liked, like Paul Westerberg from The Replacements. They're just exactly the people we wanted to meet at the time, you know. So that was really nice.
Excellent.
Okay, well, I think that's all the time we have.
Okay.
Thank you so much for coming in, guys.
Thank you very much.
We really appreciate it.